Okay, looks like I'm online in both platforms. Hey, people, welcome back to my stream. And I'll be going through Katawa Shoujo today and for the rest of the week. It's been ages since I touched this VN, like more than 10 years. So I can't remember a single thing anymore, other than the stuff I need to worry about. But let's see. It's more or less. Let's just consider it. I already forgot everything. Anyway, yeah, it's finally coming to Steam this August 15, and I really hope a lot more people get a chance to read this. And since I'm streaming this, I'm forced to disable adult content. I mean, I just don't want to deal with the I don't want to deal with, like, the cuts that I do when I upload like visual novels with like ecchi content or whatever. So we're unfortunately going through this all ages. I remember that the age scenes are actually important here, not like gratuitous fan service, especially one of them. Especially one of them. But it's fine. You can go through this. So I'm gonna go through this blind because again I forgot about everything, and like, let's see what my natural inclination is nowadays. All right, let's get started. A light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wind chimes. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. The deciduous trees provide a beautiful green canopy for out of sight of teachers and fellow students. But now, in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. I breathe into my cup hands and rub them together furiously to prevent them from numbing in this cold. Just how long am I expected to wait out here anyway? I'm sure the note said 4 p.m. Ah, yes, the note slipped between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. As far as cliches go, I'm more of a fan of the letter in the locker. Wait. Okay. But at least this way shows a bit of initiative. As I ponder the meaning of the note, snowfall gradually thickens. The snows silently falling from the white painted sky are the only sign of time passing in the stagnant world. The slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seem like time has slowed to a crawl. The rustling of dry snow underfoot startles me, interrupting the quiet mood. Someone is approaching me from behind. Hisao, you came? A hesitating, barely audible question. However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly. I feel my heart skip a beat. It's a voice I've listened to 100 times, but never as more than an eavesdropper to a conversation. I turn to face this voice, the voice of my dreams, and my heart begins to race. Yo, it's our MC. Iwanako. I got a note telling me to wait here. It was yours? Damn it. I spent the whole afternoon trying to come up with a good line, and that was the result. Pathetic. Yes, I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it. A shy and joyous smile. It makes me so tense. I couldn't move a single muscle even if I tried. Oh, here's his condition, man. Spoilers. My heart is pounding now, as if it were trying to burst out of my chest and claim this girl for itself. So, here we are, out in the cold. Once again, the wind stirs up the branches, and the cacophonous noise is music to my ears. Iwanako flinches ever so softly against the gust of wind. As it passes, she rights herself, as if supported by some new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine, and she lazily twirls her long dark hair around her finger. All the while, the anxious beating of my heart grows louder. My throat is tight. I doubt I could even force a word out if I tried. You see, I wanted to know if you go out with me. I stand there, motionless, save for my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feel like they've been stretched beyond the breaking point. Hisao? I reach up to try to massage my throat, but this only sends spikes of biting pain along my arms. Hisao! My whole body freezes, save for my eyes, which shoot open in terror. Hisao! I can't scream that shit. The beating in my chest suddenly stops and I go weak at the knees. The world around me, in the canopy of bare branches, the dull winter sky, Iwanako running towards me. All of these fade to black. The last things I remember before slipping away are the sounds of Iwanako screaming for help and the incessant clatter of the branches above. Time to go to school. Oh, it's not. Okay, it's captured. I was wondering if it captured the movie, the opening sequence. I would like to thank the Anons who worked on this more than 10 years ago, where everyone was shitposting an A. Look at that. Sign of the Times. Nicole R. Mafi. What the fuck? Good to see. That's way back. Way back. It's been 4 months since my heart attack. In that whole time, I can probably count the times I've left this hospital room unsupervised on one hand. 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts. So, I had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. Arrhythmia. I actually don't know how to pronounce it properly. A strange word. A foreign, alien one. One that you don't want to be with, to be in the same room with. Rare condition. It causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. Apparently, I've had it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I was able to go on so long without anything happening. Is that really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece. I had already had a full day by then to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Of course, there isn't a cure. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. When I was first admitted, it felt as if I was missed. For about a week, My room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards, but the visitors soon dwindled, and all the well guests began trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realized that the only reason I had gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending me their sympathy had been turned into a class project. Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came on a regular basis. Iwanako was the last to stop visiting. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about when she visited anyway. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on that snowy day ever again. The hospital? It's not really a place I'd like to live in. The doctors and nurse feel so impersonal and faceless. I'm remembering Sagimia for a reason. For some reason. I guess it's because they are in a hurry and they have millions of other patients waiting for them. But it makes me feel uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate of when I'll be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries work. So I idly observed the scar that those surgeries had left on my chest slowly change its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of omen. I still ask the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough now that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answer shows that there is at least some hope. At some point, I stopped watching TV. I don't know why. I just did. Maybe it was the wrong kind of escapism for my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital, although it was more like a storeroom for books. I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands, but I loved the stories. That was what my life was like. The days became increasingly harder to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mass. I was trapped inside, instead of moving within. A week could go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes, I'd pause in realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. But other times, all the things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalance I had set up for myself. The pages of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside and just lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. But that happened only rarely, and I couldn't even cry. Today, the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very. It's like he is trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I've last seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's not a party. There is this ritual the head cardiologist has. He takes his time sorting his papers, then setting them aside as if to make a point of the pointlessness of what he just did. Then he casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to mine. He looks me in the eyes for a moment. Hello, Hisao. How are you today? I don't answer him, but I smile a little back at him. I believe that you can go home. Your heart is stronger now. And with some precautions, you should be fine. We have all your medications sorted out. I'll give your father the prescription. The doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad, whose expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly. So many. I take it from his hand and take a look myself, feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this? The absurdly long list of medications staring back at me from the paper seems insurmountable. They all blend together in a sea of letters. This is insane. Side effects, adverse effects, contradictions, and dosages are listed line after line with cold precision. I try to read them, but it's so futile. I can't understand any of it. Attempting to only make attempts makes me feel sicker. All of this, for the rest of my life, every day. I'm afraid that is the best we can do at this moment. However, new medications are always being developed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that list fade over the years. Years. What kind of confidence booster is that? I had felt better if he hadn't said anything at all. Also, I've spoken with your parents, and we believe that it would be best if you don't return to your old school. What? Please calm down, Hisao. Listen to what the doctor has to say. Calm down? The way he says it tells me he knew full well that I wouldn't like it. Am I going to be homeschooled? Whatever my concern shows, it's ignored. We all understand that your education is paramount. However, I don't think that it's wise for you to be without supervision. At least, not until we're sure that your medication is suitable. So I've spoken to your parents about Sorry, I had a weird flashback about later events. Never mind. It's a skull. Let me calm down for a bit. It's too early for me to be thinking about that part of the game. Anyway, it's a school called Yamaku Academy that specializes in dealing with disabled students. Yamaku. Disabled? What? Am I? It has a 24-hour nursing staff, and it's only a few minutes from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of the students live in the campus. Think of it as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping help nearby. Independence? It's a school for disabled kids. Don't try to disguise that fact. If it was really that free, there wouldn't be a 24-hour nursing staff, and you wouldn't make a hospital being nearby a selling point. Of course, that's only if you want to go. But your mother and I aren't really able to homeschool you. We went out there and had a look a couple weeks back. I think you'd like it. It looks like I really don't have a choice. Compared to the other hard problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. You'll need a job one day, and this is a good opportunity to continue your education. This isn't an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamn opportunity. Well, you should be excited the chance to go back to school. I remember you wanted to return to school. And while it's not the same one, a special school, that's an insult. That is what I want to say. It's a step down. It's not what you think. All the students there are pretty active. Their own sort of way. It's geared towards students that can still go around and learn, but just need a little help, in one way or another. Your father is right, and many of the graduates of the school had gone to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. One of my colleagues in another hospital is a graduate. I don't care. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. That's what a disability is. I really hate that something so important was decided for me. But what can I do about it? A normal life is out of the question now. It's funny. I'd always thought my life was actually kind of boring. But now, I miss it. I want to protest. I want to blame this lack of reaction, shock, or fatigue. I could easily yell out something now. Something about how I can go back to school anyway. But no. I don't say anything. The fact is that I know it's futile. I look around the room, feeling very tired of all this. The hospital, doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice. I know this. But the thought of going to a disabled school, what are those even like? As much as I try to put a positive spin on this, it's very difficult. But let me try. A clean slate isn't a bad thing. That is all I can think of to get me through this. At least I still have something. Even if it's a special school, it's something. It's a fresh start, and my life isn't over. It would be a mistake to just resign myself thinking that. At the very least, I'll try to see what my new life will look like. Act 1, Life Expectancy. By the way, I think a lot of the school pictures are actually in Chicago or something. I remember the school pictures are somewhere in Chicago or something like that, I think. Anyway, the gate looked far too pompous for what it was. In fact, the gates in general seemed to do that, but this one especially so. Red bricks, black wrought iron, and gray plaster, assembled into a whole that didn't feel welcoming at all. I wonder if maybe somewhere in the Midwest. I'm trying to recall because we had this conversation before. Anyway, I wondered if it looked like what a gate for a school should look like, but couldn't really decide. Probably no. Of course, I didn't want to get stuck on thinking about the gate for too long, so I entered through it with a brisk pace that felt surprisingly good. Moving forward feels good. So I walked towards the main campus, main building of Yamaku Academy, which is obviously an American college over here, despite the Japanese name. With this brisk pace, I'm alone, as my parents are taking my stuff to the dorms, and there's supposed to be someone waiting for me. The grounds are incredibly lush, filled with green. Doesn't feel like the kind of grounds a school would have. More like a park, with a clean walkway going past trees and the smell of fresh cut grass and all other park-like things. Words like clean and hygienic pop into my mind. It makes me shudder. I shake them off. Stay open-minded now. It's your new life. You have to take it as it comes. That's what I tell myself. A few big buildings loom behind the leafy canopies. Too big and too many for just a school. Everything seems off. As if what I thought I knew about schools. It's an uncanny valley. Even though I was told this is my new school, in the back of my head, it doesn't feel like one. I wonder if the feeling is real or caused by my expectation of a school for the disabled. Speaking of that, I don't see anyone else here. It's kind of eerie. It makes me wish there was somebody here so I could anchor myself to something tangible instead of having this feeling that I step into another dimension. The trees hum with the wind and the green hues splashing all around me catch my attention. It makes me think about the hospitals again. How they say that the operating rooms are painted green because green is calming color. So, why am I feeling so anxious despite all this greenery? Only after I stand in front of the haunted main building, I surprise myself by realizing why the gate bothered me. It was the last chance I had to turn back, even if I had no life I could return to. But still, after entering, there was absolutely no way I could go back anymore. Feeling nervous amid the surrealizations in my head, I opened the front door. A tall man with a bad posture noticed me as I enter. We're the only people in the lobby, so it's only logical. You must be Niki Nakai. So you are. Excellent. I'm your homeroom and science teacher. My name is Muto. Welcome. We exchange a handshake that is neither firm nor sloppy, and he looks at his watch. The head nurse asks you for a brief check-in visit, but there's no time for that now. Oh? Should I go later? Yes, afternoon's probably fine. We should get going and introduce you to the rest of the class. They're waiting already. Waiting for me? I don't really like being the center of attention, but I guess it's inevitable in a situation like this. Somehow, not knowing what is waiting for me makes me feel really nervous. Thinking of this, I almost miss what the teacher is saying. Do you want to introduce yourself to the class? What should I choose? I'm gonna go for why. Why? Do I have to? Of course not. That's why I asked. Right. Let's go then. My heart is pounding in my chest, and it keeps me thinking about my condition as I follow the teacher up the stairs. The third door down the third floor corridor is marked as the classroom for the class 3-3. Muto opens the door and enters. Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late again. I hesitate for a split second at the door, freezing on the spot. Get a grip. This is a big step. I know that. But there isn't the point in worrying so much about it. At least, not this soon. Yo, is that fucking Ritsu? Is this fucking Ritsu? This is Ritsu, right? Anyway. I followed the teacher into the classroom and look around. Partially so I won't have to meet the curious gazes of my new classmates. It's pretty spacious. The ceiling is unusually high, and there's a lot of space left over around and in between the desks. An entire wall is taken up by blackboards, and the high, old-fashioned windows only make it seem larger. Is this Peter Griffin? Anyway, the students' desks are just standard wooden desks with a shelf underneath for books and wooden chairs with metal frames. Simple and efficient. I stop walking in front of this classroom and face the other students. They all look normal, like students in any other school. But then, why would they be here? They're probably like me and have something wrong with them. Only it's just not immediately obvious. Then I noticed that one of the girls seems to be missing a thumb on her right hand. That's a little jarring. Despite the natural tendency to listen when someone's talking about you, I tune out the teacher's speech halfway through while he introduces me to the class. Oh yeah, the typical MC chair. Anyway, I notice a flash of dark hair and see someone looking at me. A girl with really long straight hair that is pretty eye-catching. As she sees me looking back at her, she covers her face with her hand as if it were to make her invisible. There is one boy with a cane leaning against the lockers in the rear of class. It's weird seeing someone so young with a cane. Another girl seems to be making some weird hand motions. Sign language? She peers at me over the rims of her glasses, then goes back to whatever she's doing. She's kinda cute. So is the prettier looking girl with pink hair sitting next to her. She's really hard to miss. I don't know how I didn't notice her the moment I walked in. Please welcome our newest classmate. He clasps his hand, and so does everyone else, except the one girl in the first row who has only one hand. I cringe. I hide it by bowing in thanks for this applause I did not deserve. After the applause, there is a brief silence and nobody seems to want to be responsible for breaking. The teacher soon realizes that he should probably say something. He opens up with some unintelligible noise, shuts up as he loses his momentum, and then starts introducing me. Nobody seems to be too interested. Maybe I should have said yes to the self-introduction thing. Probably realizing he doesn't know anything about me, he just ends up saying my name wrong again and asks me to write it on the blackboard. I do that and turn back to face the class, feeling awkward. I listen to the teacher as he drones about getting along while letting my gaze sweep across the classroom. Everyone seems to be listening to him intently when he's done, they clap their hands again, which feels a weird thing to do. The first row girl claps on this round, with her one hand against the other wrist that ends in the bandaged thumb. It makes me feel a little bad. We're going to be doing some group work today, so that'll give you a chance to talk to everyone. Is that okay with you? Yeah, it's fine with me. That's good. You can work with Hakamichi. She is the class representative. Incho, nice. She can explain anything you might want to know. And who else would be able to do that better, right? How can I know? The teacher passes out this day's assignments and announces that we will be working in groups of 3. It hits me that I don't know who Hakamichi is. Slow. The teacher seems to catch my helpless expression. Alright, Hakamichi is right there. Shizune Hakamichi. As he calls out her name, this cute, bubbly looking girl with a bright pink hair and gold eyes waves her hand at me. I take a seat next to her by the window. Hey, I guess you're Hakamichi, right? It's nice to meet you. Haha. What? I'm caught off guard by her laughter. It's nice to meet you too, but I'm not Hakamichi. I'm Misha. This is Hakamichi. Shik-chan. Giggling. Misha points to the girl next to her, the one I saw using hand sign language before. It looks like she has been staring at me this whole time. She nods once nonchalantly to show that she acknowledges my presence, but only barely. She has a short yet careful yet neatly brushed hair, with a pair of oval-shaped glasses, smiles on the tip of the dainty nose, and dark blue eyes that seem to alternate every few seconds between analytical and slightly bored. It's nice to meet you. Wait, let me adjust volume for a bit. I don't know if it's too loud. It kind of feels like it is. Let's change force now. Anyway, I'm adjusting volume. She immediately looks at Misha, who smiles and makes a few quick gestures with her hands. Hakamichi nods and makes a few gestures of her own. I start to wonder if the teacher was messing with me, saying things like, "You'll be able to talk to people," and "Who better to explain to you? Who better to explain things to you?" I can see you're a little confused, right? But I understand why you would think I was Shik-chan. Shichen is deaf, so I'm the person who translates things back and forth for her. I'm like an interpreter. She says, it's nice to meet you too. You're the new student, aren't you? Well, Shichen, of course he is. If he wasn't, he would have been standing up there for no reason, right? Right? Misha looks at me with a weird expression that continues. We don't know much about him, but maybe we'll find out later. Maybe I should have introduced myself after all. Anything would have given a better first impression than the teacher droning and fumbling with my name. You know, I like how the game is repeating this. You know, how many times did the game tell me that I'm regretting my choice to not to not introduce myself? I was feeling shy, you know. You know, I'm like, I don't know. We knew there was going to be a new student, but we didn't know you would be here today. So soon. Hicchen, right? Hicchen. Yeah, it fits, doesn't it? Did I say it out loud? It's just a surprise. I never liked that nickname. I didn't really see how. It fits. You look just like I imagined. Ha ha ha. You look just like a Hicchen. I wonder why everyone seems to think so. Akamichi taps her fingers on the desk to get Misha's attention. They gesture back and forth to each other excitedly, their hands a blur. Misha seems a little overwhelmed. Sorry about that. Shichan wants you to know that she's the class rep, so if there is anything you need to know, you can feel free to ask her. You mean through Misha? Until I learn sign language or something. Do you like the school so far? We can show you around a little if you haven't had the time to walk around and familiarize yourself with it. Misha stumbles with a hard word a bit, making it stick out in her otherwise fluid translation. Thanks, that would be pretty helpful. Yeah, I just kind of came straight to class today. That's no good. You should always try to learn as much as you can about where you're going before you go there. Not just with school either. Why is she giving a gaze now? Always, even if it's a trip to a convenience store. Right, Shik-chan? Ha 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 ha. Learn about where you're going. I guess I didn't bother to do that. Or just didn't care enough to do so. I didn't look forward to this, even if I committed myself to go along with it half-assedly. But anyway, I don't say anything, and Misha signs something that ends in a shrug. What was that? It seems like it was about me. I feel like slumping over in my seat. Both of them are smiling, but the shrug hit me unexpectedly deeply. You look down. Are you okay? Don't take it the wrong way. Please. I hate it when people are afraid to ask questions. That's how people learn things, by asking. Asking for help is perfectly normal, as much as help needing help. Stop looking like you just failed a test. Haha. Alright. And another thing, you had to call Shit-chan something like so formal, like Hakamichi or class rep all the time. Just call her Shit-chan. Why is she blushing? What the fuck? I don't get it. Maybe that's too casual. Maybe Shizune would be more appropriate. Yep. Shizune is fine. Heh. Okay. That would be a lot easier for me. I feel a lot more at ease. Both of them seem so friendly. So I feel like an idiot for being so apprehensive earlier, especially about Shizune, who I assume would be all business. Well, she still seems like that. Just less so, I guess. Huh? Alright. We haven't even touched the assignment. Should start work now or Shit-chan will get mad. The assignment is also kind of long, so We should start now if you want to finish it before the end of class. Haha, that too. Shizune glares at the two of us impatiently. I don't need to know sign language to understand that. Okay. I get the message. After class, we can take a walk around the grounds together. It's a nice day today. Okay? The assignment is actually very challenging to get through, combining aspects of being both difficult and unnecessarily long. Still, we finished it a few minutes earlier than anyone else in the class. Despite our late start, Shizune and Misha are really capable. They're quite different though. The class rep is calm and professional as she looks, while Misha is a lot more playful and girlish, not to mention a little more easily distracted. To be honest, the two of them did most of the work. I feel guilty about that. The clock tower bell rings, signaling the end of the period. Time for lunch. Without knowing what else to do, I follow Misha, who is beckoning me into the hallway and down the stairs. We descend even below the lobby where I meet Muto, down to the bottom floor. Just like everything in the school, the cafeteria seems too spacious and oddly modern in contrast to the classic exterior. Its big windows open to the courtyard towards the main gate. It's the cafeteria. Her enthusiastic statement of obvious makes people around us stare, but Misha doesn't seem to care, so we proceed to the line. There's a rather long list of menu options, which seems great until I realize that many of them are to accommodate students who need special diets. How nice. It almost feels like I'm back at the hospital, eating portions measured with a scientific precision to meet the needs of the patients. I pick something at random and follow Shizune to a table, sitting opposite of her. As I nibble indifferently at the food, I'd rather not eat. Misha pokes me at the side to get my attention and points to Shizune. I don't understand signs, so the point escapes me. Maybe looking at the person who talks to you is proper and polite. Do you want to know something? What? About anything. We're your guides, so you should ask if there's something. Alright, what should I be? I'm not the type to ask she's in a step test thing. I want to ask about the library. Oh yeah, is there a library in the school? Lately I've gotten into reading a lot, so I'd like to check it out. Misha gives the kind of frown that makes it clear she doesn't consider reading a healthy hobby, but then picks up her smile again. There is. It's in the second floor. We can show it to you sometime. Thanks. I return to my food while the girls talk between themselves. Misha and Shizune have signed back and forth very animatedly, throwing side-glances at me, but Misha refrains from translating. Maybe they're talking about secret girl stuff or something. I quickly notice conversation inside is not enough to fill a silence. We arrive in the classroom early, but we're not the first. The dark-haired girl I noticed before slumped over her desk at the last row. She jumps a little when Misha crashes into the room with the elegance of a rhino. She shrinks deeper in her seat. Great, man. I can feel her tension all the way from here, as if she were slowly turning into stone just from our presence. Misha and Shizune either don't notice or don't mind it, as they walk directly past her to their seats and begin to converse. I'm left wondering about her, even when the classroom slowly fills with other students and finally the teacher. Getting into the rhythm of school feels strange. It's as if my brain remembers how this is done, but my body doesn't. Towards the end of the class, I start yawning and counting the minutes left. I shouldn't be this tired on my first day of school. I don't know about you, but it's always tiring. First day of school is always tiring for some reason. Maybe it's the long time spent in the hospital that made me like this. I'm even feeling physically weak and lifeless. Before long, the final bell rings. School is finally over for the day. As I and Amy Shen are having a short conversation. After a bit of deliberation, Misha turns to me. Unfortunately, we can't stay and show you around today. Hey, Chat. We got to hurry already since there is a lot of work for us to do. You'll find your way around here, I'm sure of it. Wait. The teacher said that I had to see the nurse. Where do I have to go? Is that so? We can at least show you that much. Come on. The nurses have their own building, so we had to go outside. It's kind of inconvenient. I thought nurses are readily available and all that shit, considering their situation. It's kind of weird. Anyway, I mean, sure, they can have their own building, but they would have like an easy way to get in and out. Go to their building and We joined the flow of students making their way down the stairwell and outside, with the girls pointing out other senior classrooms in the same hallway as ours. When we get outside, the girls make their way to a smaller building right next to the school. It's built in the same style, so it looks like it's actually part of the main building. This is the auxiliary building here. There's a lot of official and important stuff inside, like the Yamaku Foundation office and an all nurses office. They even have a swimming pool. How is that official? Don't be silly, Hichan. It's for physical therapy, of course. Anyway, all the nursing staff facilities are in there too. The head nurse's office is on the first floor. You'll be fine from here, right? We'll be going then. See you tomorrow. Yeah, thanks. Bye. A whole building for stuff that has nothing to do with an actual education. I guess it's necessary for a place like this. I'll walk in, hoping that this really will be only a quick visit like the teacher said. On a white thorn on the left is a green cross with the text head nurse and the nameplate. A voice from the inside responds to my knock almost immediately, but I can't quite make it out. It sounded a bit like an invitation to open the door, so I invite myself further in. Bro, CRT. Haven't seen that in ages. Anyway. Wait, what the hell is the wallpaper? Anyway. The room is not large, and it smells strange. A funny-looking man turns around his office chair to face me as I enter. His desk is neat and tidy, but the bin under the table is overflowing with used medical utensils. And there are at least a dozen coffee cup rings lingering on the desk. Hello there. What can I do for you today? He is young-looking and sort of rugged, but the dimples on his cheeks wash that impression away when he smiles. Are you the nurse? Smiles like a person who has heard this very same question hundreds of times. Oh yes, I am. It says so on the door, no? You can call me by my name, or just the nurse like everyone else. Of course, I shake off my confusion, realizing I probably should grab his extended hand. His handshake is rather firm and friendly. Right. I'm a new student, and my homeroom teacher told me to come here and meet you. My name is Hisao Nakai. His eyes light up with a revelation and snaps his fingers. Oh, you're that Nakai. I was just reading your file in the morning. Some kind of chronic arrhythmia and related congenital heart muscle deficiency, right? He gestures me to sit down in a vacant armchair in front of desk. Yeah. Good. Well, you've probably been briefed about the school enough, so I'll just go over this quickly. We have all kinds of facilities available, mostly physical therapy and such. There's always someone from my staff around, even at night. So never hesitate to call us if there is a problem. The famous 24-hour nursing staff. Wow, this is like a hospital. Well, not exactly. For instance, we don't do brain surgery here. The joke feels so out of place that I'm left thinking why he even said it. Yeah, just that it's really weird to have so many medical people at a school. You'll get used to it. I'm not so sure of that myself, but I don't let the nurse know it. Now, let me find your file again. When he searches for something from his computer and shuffles stacks of papers around, I let my gaze wander around the room. It's the epitome of generic, I like to say. Beige walls and ceiling, dark gray laminated flooring, and the equipment you'd expect from a school nurse's office. Even the ridiculous educational posters are hanging on all 4 walls, reminding me to eat properly 3 times a day, and from all the 3 food groups. Smiling, the nurse draws a thick file from a stack of similarly thick files and opens it. So, you already have the medication for arrhythmia. Just remember to take your pills every morning and evening, or it won't be much help. Apart from that, do you do any sports? Rash stuff like, I don't know, boxing? He grins to his own joke, but I don't. Well, I played soccer occasionally with some classmates. Alright. I'm afraid I'm going to have to recommend you refrain from doing that. At least for the time being. Oh. A lack of reaction makes him raise an eyebrow. But really, I'm not too bothered by him for forbidding me to kick a ball around. I guess I never did it out of burning passion for the sport. Just to have something to do. And again, a concussion might be dangerous to your heart, and risking another attack is not a good idea. Was the previous one caused by a sudden concussion to the chest area? Just don't mention the cause in your papers. Not exactly. I sidestepped the question acceptably, and he glances at me over his papers with a much more serious expression on his face. Still, you need to keep your body healthy, so some exercise would do you good. We have a physical therapy and such available, as I said, but I don't think you really need such heavy measures. Just get some light exercise regularly, brisk walks or even light jogging, jump rope, that sort of thing. Swimming, maybe? There's a pool here. So is tone. You were? Very good. At any rate, I'm sure you've been told this before. You just need to take care not to overexert yourself. He wags his finger to emphasize the point. No need, really. I've heard this 1,000 times already. Absolutely no unnecessary risk. Take care of yourself. Okay. He goes over my papers one more time and sets them on the desk. Obviously content. Good. That's it then. Come meet me if you ever need something. I'm ushered out before I even realize it. A quick visit indeed. I end up standing in front of the main building, an auxiliary building. Although, to my eyes, they still look one and the same. It's the first real look I get at the other students, so I'll watch people coming out of school, going towards the gate or the dorms. Everyone seems to know where they are going, and I still keep thinking that most of them don't look too special for being students at a special school. Then again, neither do I. Does that mean you're one of them? One of us? I should go somewhere too, to prevent me from getting lost. It's around dinner time, but I feel tired instead of hungry. The weariness in me is only growing as I trudge towards the dorms, set a little way apart from the main building complex. There's a garden of sorts between the school and the dorms, shrubbery, flowers, and that overbearing smell of fresh cut grass that fills the atmosphere. It dawns on my tired mind that the smell feels novel, because I haven't been outside at all for so long. The dorm building is big and made of red brick. Like the others, it feels way too pompous for what it is, so I push forward, going inside. It takes more time than necessary to fish out the key I was given from my pocket. Room 119. Despite the ornate exterior, the inside of the dorm is fairly new, functional, and boring. Just like the main building, the halls and the doors are widely to accommodate wheelchairs. The same goes for the elevators at the end of the hallways. I poke my head around the corner on the common room door. Inside, a few students are watching the television. One nods and gives a quick hello before turning back to the TV. Seeing that the only girls around here are sociable, I suppose that's perfectly fine with me. I climb the stairs to the upper floor. Here, small corridors branch off from the main hallway. Each of these minor halls seem to have a toilet and shower, as well as 4 rooms. About halfway down the hall, I spy room 119. Nameplates on the room adjacent to mine are blank. I guess there are just 2 of us here. Light shines from below the door of room 117. So I knock lightly. Hello? Is anyone home? From inside, I hear a few movements. Then the clicking out way more lost than I thought these doors had. After a moment, the door squeaks open. A bespectacled boy stands in the doorway. He is looking at me very intently through his extremely thick eyeglasses. Obviously based from Harry Potter. Who is it? Blind? No, at least not completely. Why would he have sunglasses if he was? He leans closer to me until our noses are almost touching. His breath stinks of garlic. Hisao Nakai. I'm moving into the next door. I thought I should introduce my... His face suddenly brightens in realization and he stands back upright, thrusting his hand out in a smiling greeting, almost straight to my diaphragm. Oh, sup dude? The name's Kenji. Hi. I take Kenji's sweaty hand to shake it, still a little rattled by the sudden change of attitude and vehement welcome. And there was some suspicious looking people going in and out of your room earlier. It was probably my parents. Their parents? Because they could have been some other people too. You can't judge a book by its cover. His out-of-place covert is left hanging between us awkwardly, as I try to think of some way to respond. I'd say the chances are high enough. He shudders and makes some exaggerated hand gestures. You're a brave man, Hisao. Me? I don't think I can trust the chances. The only one I trust is myself. Ooh, edgelord. Does that mean I shouldn't get to know you either? He thinks about this for a while. A wise decision. Damn, you are smarter than you look. Probably. What do you look like? I hope not smart. Jesus Christ, man. It is what it is. Hey, give me a second. I need to check something. Okay, we're good. He squints his eyes and leans closer again, but I lean backwards to dodge it. Never mind. It doesn't matter. With that, he turns and fumbles around for a moment in search of a door handle and shuts the door behind him. I slide the key into the lock of the door and mark 119. Bleak beige walls, white linen, a desk made of some type of light wood. ugly curtains. It's no one's room. Impersonal, like my hospital room was. The bags are sitting on the floor at the foot of my bed, looking a lot emptier than they did this morning. The closet is sitting open, stocked with my clothes. Also, it seems that there are a number of school uniforms hanging there as well. I noticed a pin on the sleeve of one of the shirts. Hi, Hick-chan. We unpacked your things and made your bed. They said that if these don't fit, then you should go to the office tomorrow. If you have any problems, you can always call us. Love, Mom and Dad. Well, at least I don't have to worry about unpacking. Kinda hope I would have. Then there would be something to do. It's still too early. I put the note down on the desktop and lie down on the bed, feeling drained. Lying there makes me want to read something, but I have nothing with me. I wonder if the hospital conditioned me for wanting to read whenever I have nothing to do. Wait, give me a second. Need to double check something. I don't know if it's too loud now. I'll try to listen to the replay. Maybe it's too loud. I have a feeling it's too loud. I'll turn it off for now. I'll just go back to this later. Consider if I really need this. Alright. Alright, let's go. T. The restless urge just keeps growing until I have to stand up. Maybe it's stress or something. I was pretty nervous about it before coming. And for the entire day today, too. I still am, I think. Damn. I have to distract myself somehow. So I won't be this unnatural all the time. Tomorrow, I'll go borrow some books from the library. Yeah. I'll do that. But for now, the bottles of medication neatly arranged on my night table catch my eye. I pick up one and shake it just to hear the contents rattle inside, and then read the glued on pharmacy label. Hisao Nakai, 2 tables daily to stay alive. It doesn't really say that, but it could just as well. It's kind of twisted having your life depend on chemicals like this. I resent it a little, but what choice do I have? With a sigh, I begin my new daily ritual of taking the right number of pills from each bottle, being careful to check the correct dosages. I lie down again, feeling hollow and uncertain. And after that, I keep staring at the blank, unfamiliar ceiling for a long time. It doesn't start looking any more familiar. Not even after darkness falls and long shadows draw across my room like fingers. The sheets feel slightly more comfortable, warm, and nest-like against the chill that passes for the room temperature here. Soon, the lighter shade of darkness, that is the ceiling, looks like every ceiling does at night, and it becomes the only thing I recognize anymore. The night beckons me to sleep, and I feel the coldness of unfamiliarity and fear creeping up my spine once again. I keep drifting further away from the world I knew. I wake up in a strange room. Solid morning light shimmers against the light gray ceiling. I have forgotten to draw the curtains closed last night. Hmm? This is my room, isn't it? Uh, my room. This is the third room this year I'm supposed to call mine. Various things around here remind me of that indeed. It's me who's supposed to be the one living here. Bags on the floor, my new school books on the desk, and numerous medications on the night table. I stare at the bottles for a moment, deliberating, until I open a bottle and shake out a pill, pop out a table from the foil sheet. I down them with a chaser of water without thinking about the chemistry. My uniforms are in the closet. I slink out from under the sheets and stretch my back before dressing up. Putting on a new school uniform feels like dressing in someone else's clothes. The artificial smell of generic detergent invades my nose, but the feeling of fresh cloth against my back is a good one. A natural one. It feels like a school uniform as it should. It's not much different from what I used to wear before. This goes for other things too. So far, this place seems more or less like a normal school. Except for the people. I think back to my talk with Kenji yesterday, Misha's constant laughter, and Shizune's sweeping sign language gestures. Well, I've only met 3 students so far. Maybe they aren't that normal. But I'm sure others are. Or perhaps people like them are what passes for normal around here. Yeah, what does pass for normal around here? What do people do? I didn't see a lot of kids hanging around after classes yesterday, so maybe there are clubs. If so, I wonder if I should join one. All through class, the question remains in my mind, so I decide to ask Shizune about it when we split into groups. After all, she did say if I had anything I wanted to know, I should ask her. She crosses her arms and shifts her gaze slowly to Misha, who looks more preoccupied with trying to grind the eraser of her pencil down so that the top is perfect and evenly flat. Ah, man. It's so hard to be Shizune, man. She's so dependent with Misha since I don't know how to do sign language. Anyway, aha, ha. Sorry, Chit-chan. Is there something you want from me? Oh, I see. That's a good question, Hit-chan. My first thought is that means she doesn't know, which is worrying. Maybe I'm being too negative. Well, anyway. Misha, please don't prove me right. Oh, that's right. Everyone is encouraged to join the club. A lot of people do so because there isn't really anything else to do. There are also school events like the festival coming up in a few days. Almost every student in the school tends to help out with it, doing whatever. So you actually transferred in a busy time. Maybe you can help out too. Sure. What's the festival about? Misha freezes. I don't know, Hichan. The truth is, it's a local event, and I'm not from this area, so... She starts signing desperately to Shizune, asking her to bail her out. Shizune adjusts her glasses at the end of an oddly grandiose flourish and starts signing hard and heavy. Huh? Oh, who cares? Misha busts out her chest as she shouts Shizune's words out at me with a disproportionate amount of pride. Too loud. I can see heads starting to look in our direction. Not so loud. Human beings evolve with each new generation. The ideas and the beliefs behind the festival will inevitably change with time. Now, it's about delicious fried food and amusing little games that you play to win prizes. The teacher clears his throat very loudly, batting his long wooden pointer against his other palm like a baton. He shoots a pointed gaze at us. Finally noticing where we are, Misha snipes a yelp and quickly quiets down. Shizuna doesn't seem embarrassed at all, though brushing it off without a care. I'm pretty sure Shizuna said something and then Misha was like, I'm not gonna translate everything there. And then I'm not gonna just translate the entire thing. We're in the middle of class and should start working. That's right. Shit-chan. What? That's right, Chan. Are you asking because you're interested in joining a club? It could have been my eyes playing tricks on me, but I think I saw a suspicious glance exchange between them. Misha's tone also changed, although it does that every other word anyway. Yeah, I was thinking about it. Misha and Suzume look at each other again. I'm about to ask what they have in mind when something dark flutters in my peripheral vision, catching my attention. Out of the corner of my eye, I see the girl with long dark hair get up from her desk and slip silently toward the door. It doesn't seem like she was working in any group, and no one seems to notice her but me. I glance at the teacher, who's also looking at the dark haired girl go. Why doesn't he say anything? Hick-chan? Is something wrong? Do I look as uneasy as I feel? Or was Misha just looking at me, looking after the girl who left? Wait, I'll be right back. I want to grab some water. Shit. That's a lot of talking that I haven't done in days. All right. All right. All right. Ow, I stuffed my back of the foot. Oh man, I hate when it happens. All right, let's continue. Hmm. You got to be careful about Shizune. You got to watch her expression changes. Okay. Well, like we were asking, you don't have any plans for lunch today, do you? I thought I would go to the library and pick up some books. Hmm, not really. Do you want to have lunch together then? Um, sure. Yay, wahaha. Okay, Hick-chan, perfect. But I wanted to get my books, bro. The rest of the class passes uneventfully. The girl with the long hair never came back. Before I have time to put any thought into where she could have gone, the teacher informs us that it's time to stop working. Shizune looks more than a little annoyed that we only just barely managed to finish all our work on time. I'm just glad we finished it at all. It's not a contest or anything. Wait, what is she looking? Why is she looking? Why is she glaring at me? Yes, it is, Hick-chan. Impossible. Really? Really? I noticed this before. But it's kind of funny how Misha is always moving her hands and signing not only everything she says, but what everyone else is saying at a given time. Obviously, it must be so Shizune can understand it. Her eyes are back and forth between Misha's hands and me. I don't know who I'm supposed to be looking at. I'm talking to Misha, but that might be wrong. Maybe I should face Shizune. I'm used to looking in the direction of the person whose voice I'm hearing, but really, yeah, this is a weird situation because when one of them is so dependent on the other person to do like sign language and all, But what if the other person is just like, like there was that earlier instance she was like animatedly trying to talk about the festival or some shit, and then you could tell Misha just kind of dismissive about it or whatever. But maybe it's just me. Anyway, Shizune can't hear me. but it would be disrespectful to talk to her only through Misha. Then again, isn't that what she's doing? No, she's at least looking at me. This is all very confusing. We'll take some time to get used to. It's not a contest, because contests are competitions over a prize. And there's no prize on the line. It's not really a contest. Shizune's eyes flash dangerously with a competitive glare. She stares at me as if surprised that I'm challenging her. I think maybe this is a contest to her. Wait, how did she even get that interpretation, man? What the fuck? I never knows how dark and blue her eyes are. It's truly an alluring gaze. Are you sure, Hik-chan? Very sure. Haha, you're wrong, Hik-chan. Because I don't want to be the slowest one in the class. Therefore, what's on the line is my confidence in my abilities, and the prize is the satisfaction of proving them. Wahahahaha. Shizune pushes her glasses up the bridge of her nose in a very matter-of-fact way. I argue more, but the bell rings, and she quickly gets up and picks up her bag, looking at me expectantly. I almost forgotten that I was supposed to have lunch with them. Where do you want to eat? The cafeteria? Wow, that's so plain. Okay, let's go. Plain? Well, I guess. At my old school, I like to eat outside, near the back of the building. It was a good spot, but I didn't find it until near the end of my freshman year. I wonder if there is a similar place to eat here. Misha seems to imply as much. Shizune and Misha pull me toward the cafeteria, which is surprisingly not packed. Maybe some students favor eating in the classroom or court outdoors. I saw my classmate had boxed lunches. After we finish eating, Misha picks up where we left off earlier. So, Hik-chan, you wanted to know about clubs and stuff, right? Right? Right, Hik-chan. Hik-chan. You know, I'm having a hard time because Hik-chan and Shit-chan kind of sounds the same at some point, you know. Okay, I guess it makes sense to ask first. Exchanging little nods of confirmation, they turned to face me again, and Misha straightens her posture as if she was about to deliver a speech. Hik-chan, do you have anything you're really interested in? I used to play soccer, but I'm not really into it. I don't follow the teams and players or anything like that. As of late, I usually just read a lot. There's a book club, right, Shit-chan? Right. But it seems like they have all the members they could possibly have right now. Sorry, Hik-chan, it's a really popular club. Oh no, my dream is to join the literature club. In every single person wants to join the literature club. Every person. I don't know why. It's an anime trope to like the literature club. Why? Well, I don't know, man. Okay. But more to the point, Hik-chan, does this mean that you don't have anything already in mind? Not really. Good, great. That's great, Hik-chan. Really great. Ha ha ha, wahaha. Why is it so great? No reason. Well, Hik-chan, other than clubs and upcoming festival, there is one more thing. Setakaito. Okay, student council. Typical, man, typical. I see. I didn't know the school had a student council. That was a very melodramatic setup, though. Just to tell me that. I'm pretty sure the two of them noticed because Shizune looks a little embarrassed about it, and Misha's laughing. Shizune quickly takes control of the discussion in a matter of speaking. After all, it's still Misha who has to voice whatever she says. Haha. Right. Hey Chan, maybe you should join the student council. It could use more people. Yes, definitely. You should definitely join. Why? Well, for one, we can hang out every day, Hey-chan. Shi-chan and I are both in the student council. Actually, Shi-chan is the president. I'm starting to get a suspicion that Shizune and Misha might exactly be the most unbiased people to talk about this with. As if reading my mind, Shizune quickly adjusted her glasses and signed something to Misha. Of course, we're not trying to get you to join just because we obviously benefit from you joining the student council and therefore have an incentive to try and get you to. So you're admitting that? We admit nothing. I mean, Chen, of course it would be nice if you join and we appreciate it. But even without all that, joining the student council shows a healthy interest in the workings of one school. Yup, it's true, Hey Chan. Besides, don't you want to spend time with us after school, Hey Chan? I can't tell if she's being genuine or if this is just really good acting. Both of them seem to be trying hard to look at their cutest, although they are already cute to begin with. Well, so it's settled then. Welcome to the student council, Hey Chan. What? No. Aw, see, Shi-chan? Of course it wouldn't go so easily. Wait, give me a... Let me see. Alright, let's continue. It's 10 o'clock. I can do this for one more hour. I have to sleep early. Because I have stuff to do earlier than usual. Yeah, that's right though. It would be boring if it went through that smoothly. Oh well, Shi-chan owes me a candy now. You were betting on it? Hey, my life's not a game here. Shizune seems very intrigued by this when Misha signs it to her. The aggressive glint returns to her eyes. What? Why does she have an aggressive glint from hearing what I said? Wow, that's interesting, Hey Chan. Let's play a game. That's not what I said. I know it. She's translating incorrectly to her. I'm a rich man and poor man, Hey Chan. If you lose, you have to join the student council. No, absolutely not. Aw, why not? Well, because you two both have the same incentive, therefore the same goal, which is to get me to join the student council, right? Yup. Yeah, that isn't my goal. What this means is both of you can team up and I'll be at a clear disadvantage, so I will have to decline. Hey Chan, I'm very offended. Are you saying you don't trust us and that we will pull something so was that makes me sad. Sorry? It's hard to tell where Shizune's influence ends and Misha's thoughts begin. In order to atone for hurting the young girl's feelings, you should definitely join the student council. No! How about a game of paper football instead of rich man and poor man? Paper football? Yeah, it's a game then they play in America. You know, the funny thing is, they say it's a game in America, then I look at the background and you can tell this is a very American cafeteria. Anyway, you make a paper triangle, and then you try to shoot it past goalposts that the other player makes with their fingers. Isn't it cool It's the ultimate form of competition between two people, Hichan. And it's also played by elementary and middle school students, Hichan. Wahaha. That means it's a game that really separates the boys from the men. More like the boys from the slightly older boys. Anyway, I'm not gonna play that either. Just the fact that you know about it means you're probably surprisingly good at it. Haha, yeah, that's true. How did you know, Hichan? Shizune frowns at Misha, telling me that she probably wasn't supposed to admit that so readily. I wouldn't say that I'm happy with their attempts to get me to the student council, but I'm a little curious about what the student council does here. I've never been one before, or even known anyone who was a member, so that interests me. I also kind of like Shizune and Misha, so maybe it wouldn't be so bad. Okay, Hichan, what about Risk, the game of world domination? I don't know what that is. It's really fun, Hichan. You fight for control of the world, with armies and everything. Sounds like Shizune would be good at it. If you want to play, we can after school. Oh, really, Shichan? We can just play for fun? Hichan. Shichan hasn't played in a long time, so if you want to, there are no strings attached. Well, okay. Okay, perfect. We'll see you after school in the student council room then, Hichan. Wait, why there? Because that's where we keep the game. Wahaha. I grimaced to tell them how much I do not like this, but it's more for show than anything. So in the end, I agree, but only after getting Shizune to acknowledge that I don't mean anything concrete just by accepting to take a look around and play a game with her. Lunch ends and we go back to class. Super shy. She's so super shy. During afternoon classes, the long-haired girl comes back and sits down in her seat without a word. Again, no one seems to notice, or if they do, no one says anything. I want to ask Misha about it, but I don't want to be nosy. After school, Shizune and Misha quickly find me by the first floor lobby and latch on me, covering each flank in case I might try to escape. I feel a little offended, but I've been considering it nevertheless. I'm a bit disturbed that enough people have made a break for it in the past that they're on their guard. What's with the escort? This doesn't make me feel very comfortable. In fact, it makes me feel like a dangerous prisoner being transported to a cell. Wow, what's wrong, Hichan? That's right, we're just going to play a game of Risk. Remember? I don't know, Misha. This all seems a little sinister to me. I start thinking that when we sit down to play the game, they'll tie me down and torture me until I agree to join the student council. Well, that's highly unlikely, but still, for some reason, it just seems like it would be so plausible. Getting to the student council room is as simple as turning 2 corners from where we started. What? That's it? This makes you guys being so on top of me seems so a little silly. That's not true, Hichan. Hichan says that when their life is threatened, people have shown the capability to pull out superhuman bursts of speed. Life is threatened. Her expression unchanging, Misha assigns something amusingly to Shizune, who makes a baffling face and puts her hands behind her back, looking pleased with herself. Misha feigns deafness and hums cheerfully. Stop that, I know you heard me. You have no excuse, unlike Shizune. Shizune opens the door to the student council room. It's a very plain and sparsely decorated room, although it is quite large and maybe even little larger than a classroom. There's a big table in the center surrounded by chairs and a small desk prominently placed in the back that I assume is Shizune's. There are a few regular desks and chairs stacked to one side as well. Extras, perhaps. Aside from the tables and chairs, the room doesn't have much else to offer. There's a couple of filing cabinets and bookshelves stacked with old school records and documents. Not much else. In fact, nothing else. This is a pretty bleak room. They could at least put a potted plant in here or something. But the most notable thing that this room doesn't have is other people. Are we early? No. What do you mean no? Does it mean no one else is coming today? Yeah, that's right. Before I managed to ask that's the case, Shiza claps her hands together very energetically. Hey Chan, let's play Risk. Come on, you promised, didn't you? You have to. Okay, okay. Do you want to know the rules? We can explain to you while we set everything up. While Misha is talking, Shizune takes out what looks like a board game from behind one of the filing cabinets and throws it on the table. Actually, this looks kind of interesting. After Misha spends a little too long for her liking running through the basics with a somewhat vague and confusing tutorial, Shizune cuts in and declares the game has started with a decisive motion, slicing her arm through the air. Shizune's aggressiveness is rubbing off onto me. I started feeling more competitive than I intend to be when I agreed to this. Halfway into the game, while I try to ponder how to defend against Shizune's assault with two fronts, she breaks my concentration by drumming her hands on the table to get my attention. Hit-chan. Shit-chan wants you to know that you're taking too long to make a move. Shit-chan also says that she will let you keep Australia if you agree to join the student council. I thought this was a game with no strings attached. Just the fact that she would dangle that over my head as an offer means that she knows I care about the outcome of this game. And anyway, no. Shichan admires your fighting spirit and would be a benevolent dictator who would spare your people if you agreed to join the student council. Wahaha. You're so competitive, Shizune. She seems to think this is a compliment. I would expect the student council to be a bit more magnanimous. Magnanimous? She doesn't seem to know what the word means or how to decide. She pulls out a piece of paper and writes it for Shizune, who in return signs it back to Misha. Misha presses her index fingers against her temples as if trying to physically imprint the word into her memory. Don't tell me that's her. Okay, maybe that is her thing, man. Maybe that is her thing. Suddenly, Shizune bursts into a flurry of gestures. Misha looks daunted by the pace of her heated signing. She must be rapping at this point. Oh, wait, please slow down, Shichan. Hichan. Shichan says you're going to lose. Tell her I will crush her world empire with my rebellion. Okay. Those eyes of hers shine with a childlike mischief. Oh, that's so cute. She says you have no chance if you keep playing like this. No, you won't. Alright, guys, what do I choose? It's a trap. It's smart to play defensively here. She has a point. Attack aggressively. What do I choose? It's a trap. It's smart to play defensively here. It's likely that she's just trying to psych me out. Looking at the board again, I have a pretty good defense setup. I'm not going to wreck it doing something reckless. A few turns later, I lose the game anyway. Shizune adjusts her glasses victoriously and allows herself a tentative pump a fist in the air in celebration. Wow, Shichan, you lost when you allowed me to take North America. Well, guys, I fucked it up. I mean, Shichan, not me. Getting control of North America is ambitious because it provides a 5 heartbeat bonus, and you can attack it from 3 fronts, so you must defend them at all. offend them all. I thought you'd have more guts. How disappointing. Ambitious, Ik-chan. Your play needs to be more daring. Ambition, ambition. I was really excited when you took South America, but then you switched to playing defensively just because you gained a small advantage. That's no good, Ik-chan. You didn't take enough risks, and when you did, you didn't follow through. That's terrible, Ik-chan. Damn it. What's it to her if I play too carefully? There's no need to rub it in my face. I wonder if you're I wonder if you'd even be any good for the student council. What's this reverse psychology? I guess I don't have to worry about joining or not in that case. Giving up just like that? I expected more of you. Seriously, is she trying to taunt me into joining the council? Besides, I don't even want to join. It's only my second day. I can't make that kind of commitment. I haven't even taken a look at any other clubs yet. And these two, they're a little weird. Fine, I'll consider joining the council, but I want to take a look at the clubs before I decide. Really, Hit-chan? You're not just saying that to make us feel better. Yeah. I'm just not sure that I want to. Huh. Okay, Hit-chan, we're not going to give up so easily. You said maybe. There's still a chance you'll come around. Come on. We could really have fun. We could play more risks. And maybe one day you could beat me. Unless we graduate before that. That doesn't make me feel any less reluctant about joining you now. Waha, surely you are not that horrible at board games. Maybe we can play a game you know then, to give you a handicap. I might have said that just to make you feel better after all. Oh, that's cool, Hit-chan. I take a glance at the clock on the wall and realize I've spent far longer playing risk than I expected. Sorry, I think I have to go. I wanted to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it? Shizune scratches her head and gestures at Misha. How hard can it be to determine whether the library is closed? It's open. There's a clock right there on the wall. It should be, unless the librarian is absent. I think you're right, Shichan. We think the library is open. It's on the second floor. Can't miss it. You want us to show you where it is? No thanks, it's okay. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. One flight upstairs up and I run into problems. The second floor hallway is a carbon copy of the third floor one. Wide, of course, and plain, like only hallways can be. The problem is the library's whereabouts are not easily determined as one would think. The classrooms are marked with signs stating what class they belong to, but then there is a plethora of other unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them? Or is it just somewhere down the hallway? I bet on the latter and choose my direction at random. After I turn around the corner, an unmarked room door draws my attention because it's not closed. It's not open either, just barely ajar, so that I can see it's open and nothing else. It wouldn't make sense for the library door to be inviolably open, and while this one is not quite that, it's good enough. At the very least, it means that someone is inside, and I can ask for directions no matter how embarrassing that is. I gingerly push on the center of the door with my fingertips, every muscle in my arm ready to pull back at the moment's notice. The feeling of being an outsider to the school can't be shaken from my mind, so much so that I instinctively fear doing something wrong by entering. The door slowly creaks as if groaning from a deep sleep, though it isn't much easier to open than I'd anticipated. Leaning over and poking my head even further inside to gain sight of the room as fast as possible, the meek hello on my lips is quickly snatched away. This is not as I was expecting. I mindlessly let the door open to its full extent, taking in the sight of a solitary figure taking center stage in the otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing at the doorway staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes, but doesn't look at me. Hello there. May I help you? Staring directly in front of herself, the movements of her lips seem to break the silence rather than the words. However, its soft, measured voice reminds me she's being separate from the room itself. Not only is she likely the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, but even among the foreigners I've met, she's strikingly distinctive. Hi. Sorry for intruding. I was just kind of lost. She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if it's carefully choreographed beforehand. Care to take a seat? Unexpected, considering that I'm intruding upon her. Thanks. I slowly step towards another seat opposite of her, the girl resting the teacup and saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements with her head is telling. That, and the slight cloudiness to her eyes means she must be at least partially blind, like Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. Whoa, we're supposed to be in Japan. As I take my seat, her composure takes me... Oh, wait. By the way, the reason I made that comment is that I randomly remember that DDLC comment about, like, you know, they're all wearing Japanese clothes, but not once did they ever say... Monica mentions that despite wearing all Japanese clothes in the area looks like the Japanese area. She mentions that not once is it mentioned that they are actually located in Japan, but it is made. You're made to think because of the aesthetics of things, but not necessarily so. Anyway, and this VM is making an assumption that you are in Japan, but I see at the background, so I'm like, this is somewhere in the Midwest, man. Anyway, drink some water. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. The calming atmosphere is so very different from the student council office. I take it you're a new student to Yamaku. Yeah, I just transferred in yesterday. I get the distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formalities of hers, accentuated by her restrained bow of greeting, one of which I hasten to match before realizing the futility of the action. I'm Lily Sato. Pleased to meet you. Hisao Nakai. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup. Would you care for a drink? Sure. As much as it pains me, I can't step with her formality in the proceedings. She gives a kind nod, taking this request in stride. Without another word, she steps out of the chair and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along the shelf. A brush here, a brush there, and her left hand often lightly touching the side of whatever container she's pouring into. It seems to be a process she's followed dozens of times before. As I lean sideways to see around her back, she seems to use her long, dainty finger to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see the different disabilities that students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone else seems to adapt. Shizune and Misha have no problem working together to communicate to me, which I'm doubtful, by the way. And Lily seems to have workarounds for problems I never thought of. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seemed pleased to be following the correct process of the offer preparing the drink. So, her soft voice brings me out of my silent observance. Which room were you looking for? It's not often this classroom is visited after school. In the school library. Shizune and some classmates told me it was in this floor. She finishes pouring water into the teacup as she nods, a small metallic tapping coming from the teacup indicating it's been stirred. I'm aware of Miss Hakamichi, as most students. To be with them means you're in class 3 now. Oh, so there's okay, the school is bigger than I thought. I mean, I see the background, but like, literally, like, there's a lot more classes. That's right, in the science room with Muto. She gets a small giggle before setting down the teaspoon and slowly walking toward the table, teacup and saucer in hand. He's quite a character. I imagine you'll come to like him. Might most do. As she sets down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person, but this seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. Nonetheless, the smell is quite nice. I hardly think it'll be hard to choke down. Thanks, Sato. It tastes really nice. She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face. Lily, please. There's no need to be too formal. Only have 30 minutes left. She says this in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech. Oh well. I guess I should try and ask her about herself, as it really does seem as if she's catering to me. So, which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third-year classes. Correct. I'm in the class 3-2, which is on the third floor. Same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi, and it's specifically for both blind and partial blind students. I see. Wait, that's kind of hard. Wait, no. She mentioned that's third floor, right? Wait, third floor? Wait, I know the library's on the second floor, right? Yeah, it's in the second floor. Okay. Because I'm thinking that any elevation's kind of much more of a hassle. I don't know. I don't know what's special about class 3-3, but if there's like a special class for like blind and partially blind, it's, I don't know, man. Anyway, let me continue. I see. Sorry. I feel like slapping myself for the full pass. Looking at her face, though, she doesn't seem in the least bit put off by it. My. There's no need to change her speech on my account. Sure. Sorry. I guess I'm really showing my nuance here. An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. While the same can't be said for everyone. Many have come to terms with their conditions. A category which would include her, it seems, all too ready to jump ship from this particular topic. I segue into another. Do you come here to drink tea often? It's a really nice place. Jesus Christ. Just like, what's that? Thinking on it, this might be her version of the place behind my school that I like to have lunch at. I come here fairly often during lunchtimes. My duties as a class representative doesn't leave enough time for an official club, so a friend and I use this room for having tea. Class representative, huh? Compared to Shizune, her mannerisms seem to be almost completely opposite. While Shizune is blunt and fiercely driven, Lily seems relaxed and calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she might be useful for at least biased view of the school's clubs. What kinds of clubs are there to join? The more popular ones are the track and field club, which uses the field near the school during lunch times, the baseball club, and the book club in a room near the library. There are also numerous small ones though, such as the art and music clubs. At a time when I'm just wanting to get on my feet, rushing into a club right away seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if the school shares the same rule as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club? It isn't, though it is encouraged. Sorry, my ring's kind of this Aura ring, and I'm just not used to having rings on my finger. Or it's been years since I had the ring on my finger. Oh, maybe I should use my left hand on the space bar. That works. Good. That's a relief. I really let my guard down around this girl to let such a thing slip out. The fact seems to slightly amuse her. Not wanting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it as Lily does the same. Sorry, wow. As I look over the window over her shoulder, I notice the light coming into the room has a distinctly orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still. The time's gone quickly. Sorry? Right, she's blind. Of course she can't see the sun setting. It's just, looks like the sun is starting to set. It seems to come as a surprise for her. I guess she must have lost track of time. Sorry, Sal. I didn't mean to keep you from the library for so long. I quickly moved to allay her concern. No, it's okay. The library's still open, isn't it? She paused and takes a moment to think of it. It's probably something I should have asked Shizune when I had the chance, but Lily seems to likely know in any case. True. It's open until 6:30 during weekdays. A quick glance at my watch confirms that I have well enough time to get there. I might get going in that case. It's been nice talking to you, Lily. Sorry. It's been a while since I said that name. She smiles and gives a deep nod. Her hands are still neatly folded on the table in front of her. It was my pleasure. Oh, come to think of it, shall I show you to where the library is? I couldn't possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find it all right. Well, unless my navigational skills fail me, which they seem to have a habit of doing. It's all right. I was going to be talking to the librarian there in any case. I could introduce you. This gets better and better. It's pretty hard to deny her offer. If you're sure, then it'll be great. Thanks. As she stands up to follow me, she takes hold of a straight, retractable cane that had been slipped in the handle of her bag on the floor. Compared to the cane the boy in my class had, Lily's looks much thinner and longer. His must be for support, whereas Lily's is for navigation. Together we leave the peaceful room and enter the empty hallway on the way to the library. Side by side, my pace carefully slowed to match hers. We slowly walk through the hallway. It doesn't take long for us to arrive at the door to the worn-looking room, apparently situated in the center of the floor rather than either wing. Ladies first. She gives an appreciative smile at that gesture and taking the lead as we file in. To the left is the wooden library counter, with the library proper being on the right. It easily dwarfs my old school's library, with a distinct smell of old books, giving the place an almost old-world air. There doesn't seem to be a lot of students here. Considering the time, it isn't a big surprise. Everyone's probably either in the school grounds or the dorms. Yuko, are you here? She says it in thin air since the librarian doesn't seem to be present. And of course Lily can't see this. What's unexpected is that it draws a reaction. Something from under the counter thuds against it, followed by a quiet wail. Oh. Origin, apparently the librarian, quickly crawls out and bounces up to the extremely rigid attention. Hi, Lily. How can I help you? Her voice is strained and in a failing attempt to sound casual, and she's rubbing the back of her head. Good afternoon. What happened just now? I heard a strange sound. It's nothing. I just hit my head. See, I dropped an eraser under my desk. While I was looking for it, a pencil dropped. And when I was looking for both of them, you came and surprised me. Are you all right? I'm sorry, I couldn't know. It's okay. Sorry for making you worry. This is nothing. I had worse happen to me. She's quick to reverse Lily's apologies, almost frantically trying to push aside the possibility that she could be in any way inconvenienced by bashing her head in the counter. Yes, worse things have happened. Hehe. The girl fidgets with her fingers as Lily doesn't seem to drop her concerned expression, and then she shuffles some papers around the counter for no reason. A little shorter than Lily, replete with glasses, freckles, and a very troubled look, she seemed to fit the library perfectly. Ah, Lily, did you get my message? Message? The 2 imported books that arrived? Right. It finally came. I can't believe it took so long, but almost amidst her celebrations, partially for managing to change the topic, I'm sure she notices me from the corner of her eye and freezes on the spot when she does. Oh no! I'm sorry for not noticing you before. Did you need to check out a book or return one? I'm sorry. The way she can quickly shift between moods is a little unsettling. He's with me, Yuko. This is Hisao, a new student. Hisao, this is Yuko, the school librarian. Pleased to meet you. Hisao, right. Hisao, pleased to meet you too, Hisao. For a second, she visibly attempts to engrave the name on her mind, so she won't forget. Wait, I'll be right back. Okay. Alright. Let's get back to this. For a second, she visibly attempts to engrave the name on her mind so she won't forget. Yuko often arranges to import foreign books in Braille for me. Would you like to tell his how a little something about the library? Lily's innocent suggestion is met with an expression of abject terror. Please, Lily, I can't. I don't know what he could be interested in. This is too much responsibility. How is it any responsibility at all? I don't get. But her objection is so sincere. I don't doubt for a second that she would rather disembowel herself on the spot than tell me where the light novels are. But, so, there are lots of books in Braille here. I attempt to save the day by asking the first thing that pops into my mind. That it seems to work at least partially, as Yuko seems to not exactly relax, but at least looks slightly less tense. Well, I think about a third or fourth of Yamaku's library is either in Braille or audio. Makes sense, given all the blind students that will be here. If it's only that, how come this library is so big in the first place? Well, we get a lot of new books regularly because the library is adequately endowed. That's probably why. I spend more on new books than on my salary, and then I had to organize and shelve all of them. It's so troublesome and they waste so much. I wish I could quit this job. A very awkward silence follows the revelation of too much information. I'll go check the aisles then if you don't mind. It's probably best for all of us if she doesn't keep talking to me. Very well. Meanwhile, Yuko, I would have those books if it's alright with you. Oh, that is really awkward. My first impression was right. The library is surprisingly big. Ambling down the narrow aisles, I studied the spines of the books in random order, occasionally sliding down one to read the book and taking it with me if it looks good. In a few moments, I have a respectable stack of books in my arms. Guess I'll never be stuck for a choice in here. The normality of the library things in. Sure, there are large print and Braille books scattered throughout, but it is what it is. A library. It's as if the calm mood from the room I had with Lily's snuck with us in here, unless it was here to begin with. Something about that puts me at ease, just like before. I reached the end of the aisle to find a collection of desks, set up for study or personal reading. Going a little further then, though, I discovered a nice quiet corner at the back. While the rest of the library has the odd students sitting at the desk, either reading or stealthily sleeping, the back is pretty much deserted. As I glance around, I see someone I recognize sitting on one of the several beanbags. It's the dark-haired girl from my class, the one who snuck out of the classroom earlier. She's reading a book, keeping it close to her face, which makes her look like she's really into it. From the way she's acting today, I'd peg her as more of a delinquent than a bookworm. In fact, her mysterious disappearance from the class raises all sorts of whys in my head. Intrigue floats slowly but surely toward the surface. Before I know it, I'm walking towards the mysterious long-haired girl. I guess there's no harm in introducing myself as I would anyone else. She's a classmate after all. Walking over to another beanbag, I'll take a seat and lay my books beside it. The girl starts looking scarily up at me underneath her fringe. This is the first time I've seen her this close. Underneath her long dense bangs, I can see that part of her face. At least a third or if not half is badly scarred. My eyes are immediately drawn to the scars, subconsciously peeking past her hair until they meet her own eyes. For a second I am shocked and divert my eyes to the books in her hands, before I realize that looking away probably only makes it worse. It takes too many seconds to collect myself and remember what I walked up to her for. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. Hi, I'm new here. I'm Hisa Nakai. We're in the same class. I'm getting the impression she's very shy, so... I'm gonna go for it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. It's okay. The girl certainly doesn't look like it's okay, but it let it slide. Do you mind if I sit here? She seemed to be very uncertain whether it's okay or not for me to sit, but finally she nods, just a little. Okay. I take a seat next to her, and she hides herself behind her book. Life of Pi. Life of Pi. That's a good book. Never heard of it. So, sorry again for startling you. I'm Hisao. She looks up from her book, stalling a little before replying. No. We are in the same class. Her speech is stilted and so quiet that it is barely audible, even in the same still library. So I think that my delicate impression of her was wrong. Hanako. I'm Hanako. I resist the urge to say, that's a nice name, just to say something, just to have something to say. But really, it's the only thing I can think of. I feel like an idiot. Everyone here must be used to being different to each other. Here I am being all bothered and fussed about that kind of thing. Don't let me interrupt your reading. I'll just check these books if you don't mind. She nods a little and sighs a little sigh of relief. So I try to read the covers and introductions of the books I picked up. She buries her face in her book. Uncomfortable silence consumes us. My eyes still wander to her direction, and I sneak peeks at her flowing hair and the scars it's hiding. After a while, I realize she's doing the same, only pretending to be immersed in the light of life. That's so cute. Her gaze is not inquisitive at all. It darts around like a scared rabbit. Oh shit! Oh, okay. I know what she's doing. Yeah. She's scared that there's someone else here, and I'm being too inquisitive about her. She, you know. When our gazes finally meet, the chain reaction is unstoppable. She stands up forcefully from the beanbag and takes a deep breath. I got something to. I gotta go do something. Without warning, Hanako takes off and runs toward the counter. Her hair light take off catches me off guard. That I don't manage to go after her until she has a good head start. By the time I reach the counter, she is nowhere to be seen. Lily and Yuko are happily chatting away. Knowing that I won't be able to catch Hanako myself, I approach the girls. Hey, did you see notice a girl run past here? Maybe. What did she look like? Long black hair, kind of shy. Some scars on her face. You wouldn't be talking about Hanako, would you? Yeah, that's her. I saw her reading and tried to talk to her, but I think I scared her off or something. Oh dear, Yuko, would you excuse me? I had better try and find her. Sure, I'll just hold on to these until you come back. What's going on? I'm sorry, but I had to explain to you some other time. Right, I'll see you later then. Lily hesitantly grabs her cane and hurries out of the library, leaving me alone with Yuko. I don't think I'll ever get a hang of this place. Did I do something wrong? What did you do? Nothing, I was just looking for some books and then she got this fit and ran off. The most offending thing I can think of was I might have looked at her general direction a few times. Well, she is a very timid girl. You have to be very careful around her. She can be very jumpy, I think, and she's not accustomed to talking with other people. Isn't that a bit strange? I wonder. It's just how she is, I think. Yuko doesn't sound all that convincing. Then again, maybe this is just the norm around here. Everyone has their own problems, or else they wouldn't be here. But how should I deal with these people? Forcing myself to act overly casual only makes me feel phony. Like I was supposed to be ignoring the elephant in the room. Yuko fidgets. Looks like she wants to say something to that, but resists. I think it's an elephant only if you feel that way. I guess she doesn't have a good sense of self-restraint. It makes me smile, and she blushes heavily. What? Did that sound stupid? No, it sounded really wise. I guess you're right. It's more about me than anyone else. Neither of us has anything to add, so Yuko fills the silence by shuffling some papers around. People who have papers on their desk really like doing that. You can tell she's... Yeah. Did you find any books? I should be closing soon. I mean, this library should be closing, but I have to do it. I hope that's not too inconvenient for you. Oh yeah, I want some books, but I left them over there because I'll just go get them. I fetched my stack of books from aside the beanbags where Hanako and I were sitting and returned to the counter. Wow, you read a lot, don't you? I surprised myself with that too. Honestly, at least when I really think about it. I had a lot of free time earlier this year, so I just kind of started reading books to fill that time. I couldn't do much else. I see. She doesn't say anything else and just checks out my books for me. I guess this is what they call tact. I should be ending in 4 minutes. Holding the library books with one arm, I twirl my pocket for the key to the door. A sudden sound from the behind startles me, making me nearly drop the books I'm carrying or the key that I almost managed to get into the lock. Who is it? I turn around to see who is talking to me. It's Kenji. He seems to be in a friendly mood, although the light glinting off his glasses in the dark gives him sinister look. It's just me. It makes me pause and lick his lips nervously. Who is me? I don't know anyone called me. Are you some new guy again? His voice is suddenly strained and quick. Yeah, but we met before, yesterday. I don't think so. I would remember someone I met only yesterday. When was that? What day is it today? I try to ignore him. Is he joking or what? Prove that we met before. You live across the hall. You're Kenji. Kenji looks back, his eyes filled with an uncomprehending fear. How do you know my name? Damn, this can only mean one of two things. Either we have met and you're telling the truth, and I just can't remember it, or you're a spy. He pauses. A psychic spy. Wait. His eyes start around me, trying to peek into my room, although I find it hard to believe he can see anything through those thick glasses. His mood swung from friendly to manic in less than a minute. I'm not psychic. How do I know that? I'm not a mind reader too. I'm not a mind reader. Kenji points a finger at my face damningly. Unlike you. It's not that, man. We met yesterday. What's wrong with you? I live in this room. Lies. If you think you can pass as his house because I'm legally blind, you are sorely mistaken. You don't even look like him. I mean, the resemblance is real. Real slim. Maybe at a distance. But who do you think you're kidding? I want to grab him by the shoulders and shake him exasperated. I rub my eyes and let out a heavy sigh. Stay there. Kenji comes closer, one careful step at a time. I stay still, lest he assault me physically. Although I doubt he could do much damage even if it did. Oh wait, I see it now. Damn, it really is you. I mean, it can't be helped. I guess it can't be helped. Sighing again, then once again, for a good measure, I step backwards just in case. What's up, man? You don't look too good, I think. Something wrong? I don't know. Just had something stupid happen to me. A few stupid things, actually. Even if you discount this one. I can't get a proper touch on other people here, and I have no idea if it's because of me or because of them. I don't know why I'm telling this to Kenji. It's not like we had any contact either. That's rough, dude. I'm sorry for calling you a psychic spy and all, but you can never be too careful. It's hard. It's the hard reality we live in. Slowly starting to think Kenji isn't necessarily living in the same reality as the rest of us. You see, this is how it is. This world, there's no justice, you see. Even when I lose, I win, because I don't lose the lesson. What does that even mean? It doesn't matter. He dismisses it flatly with a wave of his hand. So what happened? Why the long face? Do you have a long face? It's nothing. I just scared some girl accidentally. Literally too. She just ran away from me. Was it my fault? Really? I think I'm not really used to all this yet. A girl? A cute one? Cute? That's a hard question. She has a nice body and really beautiful hair, but the face. I guess it could go either way. She was cute. Yeah, cute, I guess. I knew it. There's a lot of cute girls here, but strangely there's a portion in a mountain. I believe this is one of the dark secrets of the school. I tried to warn you, man, but did you listen? I don't remember any such warning. I don't remember. Dark secrets. Yeah, dark secrets. Extremely dark, like a black hole. Have you noticed the number of girls in this school is slightly, but significantly higher than the number of boys? It's like 60-40. He turns his head to the left and stares off at the distance and nothing. Why is it like this? I mean, to the untrained eye, it doesn't appear to be that bad, but that is a full 20%. One would think that the school with a large pool of women would be a man's dream, but no. What I'm about to tell you could blow your mind. Are you ready? I don't know where this is going, but I think I won't be missing much by cutting out now. No, I am not ready. I only get as far as starting the doorknob before Kenji starts talking again, showing that he doesn't really care if my mind is blown or not. I believe this school is the battleground, the site of a feminist infiltration. This disparity is the number of men to women is a clear sign of how far they have come. In case this Cold War turns hot, they will have superiorities in numbers. Bro, this is my usual 4chan thread, man. This is my usual 4chan thread, bro. Just another skirmish in the eternal war against the forces of the feminists. They're everywhere. In Japan, women outnumber men. It's not a 60-40 split, but it's only a matter of time, man. Even in America, women are the majority by a hair. They're building up their numbers. In the past, the build up of the military has always been the cleanest sign of imminent war. Japan is just the first step. Our economy is badass, and the country itself is small and isolated, yet a huge part of the Pacific in terms of political value. The perfect target. They're so cunning, as expected of women. Soon the day will come when Kenji's voice trails up ominously. This is why you can't I like how he just randomly ends his fucking rambling and just like he just randomly goes to his point. They go along and then kill you just as they killed me. You will end up just like me. Oh hell no. I can't stop myself from blurting it loud. Hey, what the hell did that mean? You said it, not me. It's the best I can think of. So, you're not supposed to say something like that. Damn, so rude. Where was I? Oh yeah, the vast conspiracy. Stop it. Stop it. I lost you way back there. Somewhere around the feminist infiltration. Too hard to follow? It's cool. There's some grass and stuff in my room. And puppets. You like puppets. What the fuck? No puppets. You don't like puppets. Okay, grasses are still cool though, right? This is literally my full thread, bro. Fuck. He speaks energetically, responding almost before I'm done talking, moving his hands in an activated way as he continues to rant on. This is too strange. I'd peg him as relatively normal, but it's clear that I was wrong. Something on your mind, dude? Just thinking about what it's like to be the same man in an insane world. Kenji frowns, looking deeply upset. You mean that's you? That can't be, because I'm the last sane man in the sane world. This is my dream. You just can't steal a man's dream. What the hell? There can't be the last two sane men. It would be invalid, the whole last part, and that part is kind of important. There can only be one, like in the foreign movie where there can only be one, and in the end, there's only one dude left, because that was the point. have never seen anyone talk so heatedly and so defensively about absolutely nothing. This is literally my 4th red, man. Fuck. Anyway, if you wait here, I can get my grasp. I also have a list of other dark and complex conspiracy that the school holds, as Danville asks. Quick, finish my analogy for me. Be a pal. I'm going to bed now. It's extremely late. That doesn't sound like an analogy, but whatever. I like you. You seem like a cool dude. Most people don't understand what I'm talking about when I try to explain the vast feminist conspiracy to them. Denial is a terrible thing. Later. What the fuck? Imagine you're in a fucking thread about I don't know the Russian anime, the Russian girl anime, and then someone comes in and talks about Kishida's agenda. That is literally my thread, bro. Kishida's agenda about how they're changing something about animation and the push up some. This is literally something I read recently in the Rushidera thread. What the fuck? Anyway, he clasps me on the back, then vanishes into his room so quickly and quietly. It's like he didn't even open the door, but instead walked right through it like a ghost. I don't know if I can fully digest what just happened, so I give up and just go into my room, kicking out my shoes before falling face first into the bed. Okay, let me finish the scene and I have to end stream. It takes me some time to relax and get up so I can get started on homework. It's because the sheets are cool and comforting against my cheeks. And it feels good just lying there with my eyes closed. The school is some kind of bizarre and surreal island. It's isolated on top of a mountain, and each person is stranger than the last. I just can't seem to fit in. What irony! What would think that fitting in a place that's made for people who are unfit for anywhere else would be easy? By the way, I don't think so. Maybe I'm just trying too hard. Although I say that, it doesn't help take the edge off, and the words are left echoing off my empty walls. I guess it's not as bad as I expected, though. This place really is more a school and less a hospital, pretending it's a school than I thought it would be. If nothing else, the scenery is beautiful. I open one eye, see the school books and bottle of pills arranged side by side on my desktop. Maybe this place is too much like a normal school after all. Oh, okay. This is okay. I have to save from here. All right, let me do a save. All right, that's it for today's stream. I'll be continuing again tomorrow. I actually want to continue Katawa Shoujo. So I don't know. Himanatsu will take a backseat for now. So I'm gonna focus on Katawa Shoujo for a while. Anyway, I hope you guys